Hi, this is Ronnie. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm part of the 12 Days of Christmas, and I will be doing a Christmas layout. Yeah, getting in on all the fun. I'm going to scrap that picture of my grandson, and he was about, I would say, 3 weeks old probably when that picture was taken. And of course, they were already doing Christmas pictures. He was born at the end of October. And I've got a variety here to use. Yeah, even dyes. And I've got Chamel and Cozy Christmas. And I can't remember the name of that one right there. It was Cartabella, and I believe it was like maybe last year's. Um, but I put gray on the bottom. I am going to make a layout with a mantle, like fireplace and mantle. And I usually put brick paper down there. I could not find any. I guess I've used it all or it's hiding pretty good. So I decided I was going to make my own bricks. And I cut them at 1 inch in length, and I'm not sure how wide they were. But I rounded the corners with my corner rounder, the 1/8 inch. I think it's called corner chomper. And then I inked them. Oh, I had ink all over my fingers when I got done, and I had to go scrub it all off my hands so I wouldn't get ink all over my layout. But they're on there, and I'm not going to say it looks perfectly like bricks, but it gives the impression. Let's put it that way. And I thought about putting some texture paste down before I put the bricks down, but I thought, oh, what if it don't work and then I just have to do it all over again? And what if I don't like it? Then I just have to do it all over again. And so I thought I put like 3 down and then decided it's fine the way it is. So I left it that way. This is my mantle, and I put it on foam tape so that it'd be popped up a little bit because I'm going to kind of tuck things under it just a little. And like I said, normally the brick part would be wider, like go up a couple more inches at least, but I didn't want to put that many bricks down. If I had a piece of paper, it would have been up higher. I've done this before, a little bit different. I try to do it a little bit different each time, and this time is definitely a little bit different. I that's a die cut Merry Christmas, and I think it's We Are Memory Keepers, and I got them off of HSN last winter, and they were, I think I got like 6 for one price, and they were all Christmas, like Merry Christmas, ho ho ho, gnome for Christmas, like a little gnome. So I'm planning on doing a layout with a little gnome on it, but I layered it with the red and then put the green behind it. I'm just folding over my doily there so it'll go behind the mantle too and look like it's actually on the shelf of the mantle. And I put a piece of foam tape there, but you can see it pretty good through the doily, so I am going to put something there to cover it up. I've got a little tree. I fussy cut all of these because they had such a wide border on them, and I fussy cut them last night in preparation to do the layout today. And I like them better without the wide border of white. Sometimes I'll cut it down, just leave a small border of white. And if I'm putting it on white, I'll just leave the border on there. But I rather not have the white, so I did the fussy cutting. And I'm putting this up on foam tape, and I'm going to put a couple of the gifts up on foam tape too. I'm not going to put all 4 of them. 2 I think I put on foam tape, and 2 I don't. And I had to move that. I had to pull it up and move it because I wanted it right along the edge of the picture frame, and there was a tiny bit of gap there, and I didn't want the gap there. That made a gap between it and Merry Christmas, but that was fine with me. Yeah, I'm pulling the foam tape off, and I think that's all the presents because I put 4 down. Oh, and part of the doily was coming up, so I kind of tucked that in there. That round circle that says joyful, it came in the Cozy Christmas also, and I am going to put a round red piece behind it. I cut it with the Creative Memories circle cutter, and that's just to give it a little more distinction from the speckled background. It's gray with white speckles. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be snow or not. The title of it was the cut apart thing from the on the back side, which has cut aparts. And I used it and glued all this. Well, I started gluing on here, and when I flipped it over to trim those bricks, I noticed that it was cut aparts. And you know how it is, sometimes you don't look and you think, oh man, yeah, the cut aparts is on the back. But I've done quite a few layouts already with this collection, so I don't have as much left anyway. So, and I didn't use them yet, so maybe I wouldn't have used them anyway. I put the joyful on foam tape, but the red is going to be flush against the background paper, and so I thought it'd look a little more dimensional that way. And the twine, I'm fixing it like an ornament, and of course hanging from wherever. Not sure exactly where it's hanging from, but I hung it there anyway. I showed the die a second ago, and it's the one with the mittens. I used the mittens. I made the mittens from it, but the stockings I drew and cut by hand last night while I was watching TV. I thought, man, I got to have stockings on there. And I do have a stocking die, but it's smaller than this, and I wanted to have them a little bit bigger. I put twine on my mittens so that they could hang together, and I'm going to use brads to hang them up. And I'm going to use brads on the stockings too. I have used Nuvo drops and pretended it was a nail, but my last experience with using them, the Nuvo drops didn't turn out as well, as rounded as I would prefer. Let's call it that way. They had that little Hershey Kiss top, and I don't want that, so I'll make sure I'll use brads. But I did use the tiniest ones I could find. They're not very big. And I was going to say, I was getting ready to do this other part, but I put a wood button over the top of that foam tape, and I was having a hard time getting the next one off. And I tried it on my mantle, but I didn't care for it, so it didn't make it on there. It went back in the package. And here I pulled the 3 brads out, and see how tiny they are? They were all 3 laying there together, and it still looked tiny. But these are little ones. I mean little. They were the smallest ones I had in my whole container of brads. But I think I like the little ones a lot. Sometimes I want the bigger ones. I even have some bigger ones that has rub-ons to go with it, which I'm not sure if the rub-ons work anymore because it's been a while since I rubbed them on a brad. This pine branch here either came from Diamond Dyes or Cat Scrappiness. It was in a Diamond Dye sleeve, packaging, whatever, along with the fern. So I am not sure which one came from there and which one came from the other place. I know I got one in one place and one in the other. But then the packaging tore up on one, so I just stuck it over with the other one. So no, I don't know which one. But it came from one or the other. Anyway, I really like it. I got the fern one first, and I actually used it on my Christmas layouts and Christmas cards. And then a couple years later, I got the pine one. And so, yeah, I use it. And I'll still use the fern probably if I decide I want to use it. And I am cutting it apart so that it's not such a big looking branch, that it looks like smaller branches. And I'm going to layer them over each other. And I'm also putting them in there where the Merry Christmas is. So the Merry Christmas looks like it's nestled down in the pine branches, which is how I decorate. I do not have a mantle. I have the bricks, and I have the doily thing. Well, it's a runner, embroidered runner. And I have decorations on top of that at Christmas, but nobody ever put the wood there. So I am figuring it's not called a mantle if it don't have the wood there. But, yeah, I will continue to decorate it. And I think I'm getting close to done on this, but I am not done on my mantle. I have 2 punches that I want to pull out, and they're both Martha Stewart. One has a holly branch with berries, and the other one, well, holly leaves, they're not branches. And the other one has like a little branch looking thing. And I might have called it thing, but I do love it. I've used it a lot, especially on Christmas cards. And yeah, I am getting close to done. I don't see much more. I don't see any more branches laying on the table. I think I picked the last one up. So I will go to the the punches next. If I can talk, I will go to the punches next and punch some other parts to go in here. So it will look fuller by the time I get done. And of course I am going to use the liquid glue on them because there is no way I could use any adhesive that's on a runner. And there's my two punches. Like I said, they're both Martha Stewart punches. And I'm going to do the holly leaf first, and then I'm going to do the berries. And looking at my layout now, I am thinking about punching out the holly leaf again and cut it apart and put one on, tuck it underneath that button on the doily. Yeah, it just looks so bare down there. And I keep thinking it needs something. I could go back and do that. It will not be in the final pictures, though, because I already have them done and on here. So I will, do that. So picture it in your minds that it's got holly leaves coming out from underneath both sides of that button on the doily. And I'm using my poker tool here, and I just put a little glue down on my mat, and I put the poker tool into the glue, and then I pick up the little berries and just put them on there, and then that way they're so tiny there's no way I can hold them. Now I'm punching out the branch part, and that is music note paper. And first I tried to miss the music notes, and I thought, as little as this is, nobody will ever see the music notes on it, so I just punched away. And I did punch out a few, and I'm just going to nestle them down in there too. And I think that's it. Let me look at my layout. I can't see anything else offhand that I did and haven't said anything about. So I'm thinking it is the end of my layout. Just the last little bits to go on there. And check out the links below to see who's going to be up next for tomorrow. And I am adding little lines, the little white highlights. And I did put that at regular speed, so that's how slow I am. Yeah, very slow, very slow. But yeah, if you leave a comment below, I'll be sure to get back with you. And if you liked the video, if you hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe. Now, everybody may not be doing layouts like I did. They might be doing cards or something decorative for your home. It'll be inspirational. Yeah, if you follow along on the hop, it'll get you all excited. And if you don't have your mojo, you will by the time that you get done. Here are my close-ups. And yeah, I do have a few of them. And see those little teeny tiny berries? You can see why I couldn't pick them up with my fingers. And yes, I'm going to put a couple holly leaves underneath that joy. Yeah, I think it needs something there. It just looks kind of stark sitting there on that doily all by itself. But that's it. That's the end of my layout. I hope you all have a happy, scrappy week. Bye.